Okay, you know what? I was going to like do the whole camera setup and like set my whole thing up and just get so ready to film this video and like look at my notes and like prepare all the things. But now I feel amped up. I feel so amped up in my heart, and I just like it's building in me. So we're going to share. Like, when are we going to stop? When are we going to freaking just stop the comparison game and the like hamster wheel game? Like, wake up! Wake up! It's just like we're lovingly, but sometimes you just need a little shake, but also lovingly. I'm lovingly sharing. Do you ever find yourself on this hamster wheel of like more? Yeah, love. Let's give love. Let's be loving. Okay, so there's this hamster wheel, right? And in Western societies, sometimes we can find ourselves just like conditioned to just keep blindly running on this hamster wheel towards what? Like, that's the thing. Towards what? It's kind of like if you think of in 1984, for example, everything is controlled, and we were all told to read it in schools to be aware. To be aware for what? It's happening. It's happening to us, and it's happening in this society. And piece by piece, technology is an amazing tool, but it's been introduced into our lives in a way of like piece by piece. And oh, thank you. And it's about to ramp up a lot, like a whole lot. And basically, we're at this crossroads right now of remembering our human nature and sacrificing it fully to technology. Kind of like to also reference a movie that everyone's seen, WALL-E. Do you remember that scene from the movie WALL-E where there are all these giant, fat, overweight people sitting on these like wheelchair conveyor belt like strips that are just rotating through this smart city reality where the advertisements come on and say, buy now, this is trending, buy now, this is trending, get this now to fit in, and everyone immediately switches their shirt color from blue to orange or whatever the current trend was. And it's happening, and it's now, and this is the society we find ourselves in. No one chews their food anymore. It's just like through these processed drinks and supplements, and health is deteriorated, and no one is connected anymore. That's the key. That's where the root of all of this is that I'm trying to get to, is let's not forget our connection, our human nature. Like, technology is a great tool, don't get me wrong, it's what allows me to share this message. I'm so grateful for it. But at what point do we sacrifice our human nature in this kind of giving things over to technology? And that connectedness, our heart, I feel, is our superpower. Because, at least for me, and I really deeply resonate to this kind of messaging here of running on this hamster wheel towards what? Like, when are we going to stop? Because I was living in it and I was stuck in it when I was working my Big Four technology consulting corporate job, and I was commuting 4 hours a day and staring at a laptop screen all day, and then I would spend the rest of my time scrolling social media and just looking for something to fill this just void I felt inside. But now I realize that void was disconnection from self, from my heart, from my soul. And it's been through this journey of like really just getting so honest with myself and finding time and time and time again what it is that's disconnecting me from that source. And for example, sometimes it's been some of the even the music that I was consuming, just listening to like whatever was trending on the radio. I would find that that's feeding my mind negative stimuli. And so I started to be intentional about the type of music that I was listening to as much as possible, to stand guard at the gate of my mind and, you want to hop down? And feed my mind positive stimuli, because it's so important. Like, what we believe is what we become, truly. And I remember when I was in that DC consulting corporate job, it makes me so mad because I was conditioned to be a good employee, to be educated, to be aware, to start my days with listening to the news. Like, that's crazy. It kind of breaks my heart. Like, there were some points where I even had internships in high school. Oh my gosh. I feel so passionate about this right now, because I would just be like 16, 17 years old, listening to the news, going to sit in a windowless office all day and stare at a screen. And for what? Like, if there's one theme I hope you can pull from this video, it's for what? What are we running on this hamster wheel towards? Where are we going? Towards the end of your life? Towards 70 years old, where then maybe you can retire, and then maybe you can start to travel to a couple of those places that really excited you? What's one of the number one regrets of the dying? They wish they had traveled more. They wish they had spent more time with those they loved. They wish they hadn't worked as hard. I'm not telling you to not work. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm inviting you to question why you're doing all this, and to what extent. Where are you trying to get to? Because eventually you'll find, if you're just blindly running on this circuit and there's no destination that you've sat to intentionally create for your life, because that's what's so cool about this life, and understanding more and more about this life, is that we are, I believe, co-creators of our destiny with our God, with our creator, with the universe, with that which gives us this human life experience. We also have free will to consciously choose and create our destinies, which is so cool. So you get this human experience, this human existence, to get to go out and about and create the version of you, the version of reality that you're so excited about, that you're so proud of. How cool is that? How exciting is that? And how much of a shame would it be to let that go to waste? And then that's where we need to stop and ask ourselves what you're afraid of. What's getting in the way of you going for your dreams? And just reflecting back on my own story, and I remember for me, when I was that tech consultant and I wanted to become a travel photographer, I was so scared of what other people would think. Like, I really just spent all of my time thinking about what the people around me thought about my life, because I wanted to be a perfect, nice girl who did all the right things and who didn't disrupt anyone. And I had also been told that my emotions were a lot. I was too sensitive. I just needed to bottle things up and push it down and not feel that way. That's not realistic. Blah, 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 blah. Ew. Ew. Who says? For who? For what? Who says? So what is it for you? What is it for you that's keeping you stuck from stepping off that hamster wheel and sitting and reflecting and getting to know your heart letting those thoughts slowly slow down until you can start to recognize the thoughts just pass by like clouds, and start to appreciate the space in between the thoughts, the blue sky in between, and recognize, oh, it's not a storm in there after all. Those thoughts can pass by, and eventually you can drop into your heart, and then you can ask your heart, what do you want? And maybe you do it now. So do it with me. Take a few deep breaths. Ready? Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale for 5 and really let something go. 3, 4, 5. And again, hold for 5 on the empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And pause this video and repeat this process a few times as it serves you, until you can get to that place within your heart where you feel your heart beating, you feel your heart awaken and alive. And right now, I feel my heart. Right now, I feel in tune with my heart. And my heart is telling me that the purpose of my life is to be love, is to enjoy playing this game of life. Because it's a game and it can be fun and you can create it and you can choose your next move. And you can realize, as my mentor Tony Robbins says, that life is happening for you, not to you. And he says that it seems like it's happening for you, but it seems like it's happening to you, but it's all happening for you. Even the pain, even the problems, they're all gifts. And once you find the meaning, you can be free of the pain. And you can realize that every single step of the way is guiding you, and it's creating a magical life for you. And maybe your purpose in this life is to just love and to be love and express the possibilities of love and the magic and the light of this existence. That's what comes up from my heart as my purpose. What comes up on your heart as your purpose? And how can you take steps towards living in that as your reality and creating a life that you love and creating a life that lights you up and that lights up those around you, and a life that you're not rushing and running for one day. Sure, you have a compelling vision that pulls you. Oh, the vision I have that pulls me is so exciting. It's so life-giving. It gives me so much energy that I feel like my energy is just overflowing of magical gratitude and abundance. Have that vision, have that pull. But how do you ground yourself in the here and now to where you can enjoy your life now, to where you can create a life that you love in the now, to where you're not waiting for one day, to where you're not waiting for retirement to start to live your life? But you can watch with this active anticipation of miracles about to unfold through synchronicities and divine coincidences and magic in the everyday. And to where you can start to feel this lightness and this joy and this electricity alive and awakened within you, that you can impact all of the lives of those that you come across with that electricity and that energy and that aliveness. And piece by piece, we can encourage each other to hold hands in this joyous dance and celebration of life, instead of fighting and pushing each other away and judging and making others feel small. But once we realize that it starts from ourselves, it starts from within, and it starts from taking a moment to pause, to wake up from the slumber, and to go within for a moment and say, hmm, what would be the next best thing for me to do now? to live in alignment with my dreams, to live in alignment with what's pulling me on my heart. And my wish for you is that you have the courage to take steps towards it, because when you feel that wave of magic where you're just riding this wave of life guiding you, life flowing through you, oh my gosh, as Michael Singer so beautifully describes in his book, The Surrender Experiment, what if life has a plan for you that's so much greater than the plan you could have created for yourself? And instead of controlling and gripping and trying to just make everything around you so perfect, what if you let go? And what if you surrendered to these waves of life and chose the next best thing in each moment, from trusting your intuition, from trusting your heart, and discerning, of course, with your mind? My whole background is in analysis. My degree is in analysis, computational modeling, and data analytics. I have a very strong scientific background and hypotheses, scientific proof testing. I'm from Washington, D.C. Like, about as kind of locked into that matrix as you can get. But I also have seen and experienced magic and synchronicities and alignment and psychic abilities and telepathy and connections that I never even knew were possible. So I've experienced both sides, and I can understand any hesitation towards one side or the other. But I will conclude this rant here to say, when are we going to stop? And when are we going to return back home to our hearts? Blessings to you. My name is Mahna Ghafori. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm rooting for you, beautiful earthling, on your journey. Check out my Fear to Freedom masterclass. I dive into a whole lot more of this. It's completely free. I've linked it in my description. And it's basically about how to go on this whole journey, how to go from living in fear to living in freedom. And once you find that peace and that freedom in your mind, in your heart, in your body, in your essence, life feels lighter, and you learn to laugh and you learn to enjoy this beautiful journey called life. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. Life can be a beautiful game that you enjoy. So, blessings to you. I'm still buzzing. And I hope you can feel it here. I hope you can feel this love and this care. I am genuinely rooting for you. You're a beautiful soul. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light and courage. May you find that courage within you and step into it, and choosing a life, and creating and co-creating a life that's in alignment with your greatest dreams and desires. Blessings to you. Bye.